I appreciate you, sir. It's my guy. What's up, Darian, Dorian, Rhonda, Kim, Elijah, Johnny, Sherika. Sherika, that's the homie. What's up? Everybody in here. For those of you who are new, who are guests, welcome. We are I'm happy to share time and space with y'all. I'm actually honored. I don't care if it was two people in here. I'd be honored that anybody care to, sit still for a few minutes and listen to what my crazy ass got to say, right? But everything that I say and I talk about, I do it with the best of intentions. So I just want y'all to know that I do. You know, it is what it is, man. Like I love God. I'm a man of faith. So we do start with prayer, and we do it in the Arabic language because that was how Allah revealed the Quran to, our beloved prophet, peace be upon him. So if y'all could just bear with me. And keep in mind, y'all, there's no Christian God or Muslim God. It's just one God. That's what Allah means. It means one God. That's it. Okay. It means one God. It's pointing at one, not a God, the God. That's all it means. Okay. So, Allahu Akbar, Bismillah. Excuse me. Y'all, bear with me with my pronunciation. You know, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. I mean, and I will translate, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. All praises are due to Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. Indeed, we have granted you an abundant goodness. My mind's going blank. Anyway, I gave y'all Fatiha. So today, some of y'all who's been here already, y'all heard this before to a degree, but y'all did not take heed to what I was talking about. Everybody else, I'm about to give y'all some real game, some real wisdom, okay? What I'm going to give y'all today is something that you'll be able to take with you immediately, apply it to your life, right? It's very practical, and it will yield you results beyond measure, okay? In 7 different domains of your life. I'm going to get into it. But first, there's something very specific that I do every debrief. We used to call these lectures, but we like to call them debriefs now. What I like to do is do an intellectual exercise called word alchemy, okay? This is important.
Some scholarly brothers.
Yo, mute your mic. Mute your mics, please. Thank you, brother. This is very important.
Sorry.
Word alchemy is taking words, right? Instead of just saying everything, you're defining each word and breaking it down. That way you have mastery over your language, the words that you're using. Now, of course, we have limited time right here, right now, so I'm not going to break down every single word, but each night that we do this, I have a theme or a title. So that's what we will break down, okay? Now, tonight, this is the declaration of truth. See, some of the alumni, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get on y'all ass tonight because I know a lot of y'all ain't applied this principle or this strategy. Now listen, y'all, pay attention to the whole, all night, all right? And let me be clear about something. What I'm giving y'all tonight is an actual blueprint, is an actual architecture. Listen to me, all right? A blueprint is very important. You ain't building no house without no blueprint. However, if the blueprint is just sitting in the drawer, you ain't building a house then either, okay? You need the daily structure. You need the accountability. You need to go through the refinement process, right? This is what separates people who write down the blueprint or a declaration from the people who actually live it, all right? Keep that in mind as we move on through this, all right? Now, the declaration of truth, 3 words. Each word carries weight. Each word has been corrupted as well. So now tonight, each word shall be restored. So let us begin. Declaration, from the Latin word declarare. It means, well, D is a prefix. It means down, from, or away. Clare means to make clear, to illuminate, right? So declare is to bring down clarity, all right? To pull what is vague into light. Y'all follow me? Y'all good? It's to make what's invisible, make it visible. It's to state something with authority. Listen, a declaration is not a want, is not a wish. A wish is soft, that's passive, that's hoping. We don't do that. We live in reality. We make it happen. We declare. Declare is hard. A declare or a declaration is active and is certain. Think about America or any nation. When they declare their independence, they're not, I hope for independence. Can we have it? No. They declare it, they take it, all right? They state it as a fact, and they write it down. They sign it, and then they defend it with their lives. That's the power of declaration. Y'all good? Y'all holding that? That's heavy. It gets heavier. The next word, of, O-F, not OnlyFans, of, all right? Of is a preposition indicating possession or relationship or origin, okay? It connects the act to the essence. So therefore, a declaration is never empty, okay? It is of something. Tonight, the declaration that we're walking away with, it is of truth. Y'all good? Next, truth. From the Old English word oath, meaning fidelity, faith, loyalty. Truth is not an opinion. It's not a I think. It's not a I feel. It's not a preference. Truth is what remains when all the lies are burnt away, all right? Truth is alignment with reality. That's it. And reality is what the universe imposes, all right? Reality is reality is reality, and that's it, okay? The laws of physics, that's the truth. The laws of consequence, that's the truth. The character that you or I build, that is the truth. The body you've trained or neglected is the truth. Truth is evidence. You feel me? Truth, there's no negotiating truth. There's no debating truth, okay? The truth, it simply is. That's it. That's it. Now, Assalamu alaikum, Khalid. Synthesis, we're bringing this all together. The declaration of truth. The declaration of truth, all right? This is the act of bringing down clarity around what is real to you. It's a written statement of your alignment with reality. It's the blueprint that you sign before you build. This is necessary. It's the coordinates you enter before you navigate. Or you could look at it as an operating system for your computer before you run a program, all right? We are not, you are not, none of you are not, after tonight, wishing for a life. Fuck that. You are declaring one. Listen, how I see life, please excuse my language right now, but I make life my bitch. It's mine. What I want to do with it, when I want to do with it, how I want to do it. Because you know what? We're going to die one day. We're going to die one day. And then I shoulda, man, I wish I, no. Inshallah, when I'm being washed and wrapped, being placed back in the earth, there's no regret. He did it all. That was a busy guy. He did this, 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 this. Yes. All right. You have to declare and live life ferociously. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. However, I think it serves you best when you live on 10, right? When you declare with brutal clarity, when your intentions are set, when you're consistent. That's when reality starts reorganizing itself around the things that you write with this exercise that we're going to learn tonight, the Declaration of Truth. Let's define this all with laser beam precision, like a surgeon, all right? The Declaration of Truth is a written, comprehensive, first-person statement of your intended reality across all the domains of life that's important to you. All right, we're going to get into every one. Let me tell you what it's not. It's not a journal entry. It's not a vision board. It's not a list of my goals. Nah. It's the architectural blueprint of your life written down in present tense as if it's already happening. Because it has to be, right? Well, Mike Rashid, why in the present tense? I'm going to tell you, it's very practical. The subconscious mind, this is a fact too, the subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagination or reality. In the mind is both real if it's vivid, all right? You do not write anything like, I want to make $50,000 a month. Trash. You write, I am building the system that generates $50,000 a month. I am creating offers. I am serving my clients and my customers at a high level. And I'm executing daily revenue generating activities, right? That ain't hope. That ain't hope. That ain't wish, right? That ain't want. That's doing it. You're not going to write down, I just want to be healthier. No, you write down, I am training 5 days a week, eating 200 grams of protein, sleeping, getting all my sleep in, doing my steps, my cardio, right? I'm building towards single-digit body fat. That's the difference here is like, you're certain, you're sure of yourself, okay? The declaration, it covers these domains. What we're working on tonight. Now, y'all can add, feel free to add whatever you want, take out whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But what I'm presenting to you is what has been working for me, okay? So you will have financial vision and purpose. You state your income, you state the target and why, okay? The why will ground that target in meaning, because money for no reason is not really a thing, okay? It's noisy. It's not solid. It's not grounded. It's not that important. The next domain is very, very important, is family and community intentions, the people you're around, right? You declare what you're building for the people you love. You state the environment that you are creating and you name the legacy. The next will be your health, your physical mastery, right? The goals that you have for yourself. You're going to define, be very specific and define your body composition, right? Your training frequency, your nutrition protocols, you name it. And you treat the body as infrastructure and not decoration. Everything has to be deeply rooted and anchored in something meaningful, okay? Next will be your relationship commitments. You name the people that is important to you. You name who matters. You write their names down in your declaration. You state how you're going to show up for them. You identify where ego has blocked you from better connections, and you declare its removal. Do not ever blame nobody on your relationships or any kind of shortcoming. I don't care if they're violating you. Stop being around them. It's never their fault. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. Whatever hardship you're dealing with anybody, it is your fault. That's radical accountability. We have to embrace that, okay? Next, the most important is your spiritual practice in your personal growth. You declare your relationship with Allah. You state your prayer consistently. You define your growth path and you build your faith in your character, all right? That's very important. And also, we have to identify our business goals and our legacy building. Very important. The world don't need a bunch of spiritual people that's broke. That's not the vibrations. It doesn't go, I don't know why people think that's the thing. That's not the thing, all right? Now, there's a mindset that we do reject that, is typically aligned with people who have a lot, right? We want to massacre that mindset, but we're not massacring us having means, okay? We need the money like anyone else, but we're not beholden to it. We're beholden to Allah, to God. All right. Now, we're also going to go over communication and your influence development, your ability to lead, your ability to walk in a room and be the gravity in that room to where the attention is on you, if you want it to be, or off of you if you want it to be, right? We're going to go through all of that. You will be declaring how your voice will evolve, how you're going to state. Look, think about it, y'all. You're getting to create yourself or recreate yourself. And that's what life's about. It's not the vibration to go through life on whatever settings that you were set 20 years ago. You reset as much as you need to, okay? If you're intentional about it, you will become that person. You walk into those shoes, but you gotta spell it out. You have to have a target of who you are to be and who you desire to be, okay? Look, this person, man of steel. That's what I'm talking about. That's a man of steel. You feel me? All right, so you're going to commit to clarity, to power and truth in speech. This is important, all right? And finally, gratitude. This is so important because a lot of what we've talked about and what we're going to go through is about you, and the things that you desire. You will never get to the things that you desire when you show appreciation and love and whatnot for the things that you have. Because you all have a lot right now, for real. Y'all are very, very well off in this world. A few weeks back, I asked in the chat, who feel like they poor? And one brother raised his hand. I said, why? What makes you poor? He says, well, I only make $75,000 a year. like, bro, hold up. 75,000, you making more than most people in the world, okay? The average median income in America is 35,000. Wow, you making double that, my guy. And you don't live in LA, in expensive New York or Miami. You feel me? So what happens is people start looking at everybody else on social media, looking at these fake lives that people is putting in your face. That's not reality. It's not the vibration, okay? And also, here's another thing too. This is something that I learned through trial and error. When you start attaining, you should not know what people have, right? It took me a long time for that really to make sense because I come from not having nothing, right? So the moment I got money, I wanted everybody to know. Like, I got this, I got this, I got this. In reality, I look stupid. I look stupid because my big homies, my mentors, were watching from afar. Like, he could have invested that into this, into this, into that. You see what I'm saying? Just like I can see now, my little homies, I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? People are spending an exorbitant amount of money on things to impress a bunch of assholes who don't care. It doesn't even matter. Listen, brother, Reese Shelton, brother, check this out. It don't matter what kind of car you got. It so don't matter. You feel me? It just so don't matter. It ultra don't matter. I don't know how to emphasize that, how it don't matter to nobody else. Whatever anybody has, it means nothing to anybody else, right? Unless it's your wife or your kids or your family, right? Nobody's going home at night thinking about what anybody in here got or is doing. Ain't got, do have, nobody's doing that. So we got to get out of our mind this comparison stuff, right? because that's what happens with social media. This is why I just don't really subscribe to social media like that. It's so toxic. It's so unhealthy. And a lot of people have an unhealthy addiction to it because, listen, trauma hits the same pleasure sensors in the brain, just like, things that make us happy. So everybody, a lot of people I know, y'all probably tapped into the ICE stuff, the Venezuela, the Maduro, and you're arguing with people. Why? It's like, I see people that I know, the business people who ain't in politics or nothing, they making whole posts. I'm like, why is he? That's not helping you do anything. It's just keeping you angry, you pissing off more people, and then you think it's, oh, I'm standing on my truth. No, you standing on, you're being manipulated. That's what it is, right? Because they put in what they want to put on these broadcasts to invoke certain feelings and emotions, and people falling for it. So I don't participate in any of that foolishness. But we need to be in a place of healing, right? And this is what the intent of the Sacred Society is, especially our platform, right? The SSL. That's a place we still, look, we're in the trenches still working on refining it, y'all. We trying to put the right sauce together to where the same kind of addiction you may have for Insta or Snap or whatever you choose, you want to have for Sacred, but it's a healing place. It's not damaging you. I'm telling you right now, all this time y'all spend on Instagram or whatever is damaging you. It's overwhelmingly negative content. Overwhelmingly, right? I can show y'all my Explore page. First of all, I'm not on there much at all. I can show you my Explore page. Is nothing like watches and Islamic stuff and some workout stuff. But then there's this new thing where you swipe this way on mine, it's just pornography. It's girls running to bounce their breasts. Like, it's really inappropriate filth that I don't appreciate. I don't engage in content like that. Why is it on this little secondary feed that they got right now? You see what I'm saying? And I talk about God and all these things I don't talk about negative things, but they're putting that on my feed. So I can imagine what's on everybody else's feed. You see what I'm saying? And I see the viral content is all bad. It's negative stuff, right? So this is not a healthy place, social media. I'm just letting y'all know. You don't realize it because it's so satisfying, right? The scroll, the like, the this, the that, little back and forth on a comment. You say you think you got off on somebody, like you said something slick to them, right? It's not the vibes, y'all. It doesn't help you in any capacity at all. Okay. Anyway, so let's get back to this, right? The declaration, because this is very important. Now, each domain that we're gonna write down, that y'all gonna write down, right? You have to write it with vivid detail. This is your life, right? So you don't want to be vague about this, right? You don't want to be abstract. You have to be concrete, measurable, and visual, okay? So you don't say things like, I want a house this year. No, you say, I am building a 15,000 square foot home with high ceilings, natural lighting, flooring in every room, right? A view of the water, guest quarters for the family. You have to be that kind of specific, all right? The mind cannot build what the mind cannot see. So the declaration is you giving yourself a target, is giving your mind something to see. Now, I need to break down the actual workings and the mechanism inside of this practice, because this is all practical, it's all scientific, y'all. As y'all know, I'm a Muslim. I don't think anybody don't know that, right? And the reason that I'm a Muslim, because it just is what it is. However, some of the practical reasons is because Islam is so mathematic and scientific. We are obligated to study. We're obligated to learn, right? So that just works out for me because I like learning. Now, you apply science to everything in life, because that is science, and mathematics is God's language. That's how he communicates to us, right? Now, your brain, let's get into the framework of this, what I'm talking about, because it's very scientific and it's learning. Our brains operate on a system called the reticular activating system, or the RAS, all right? So it's a filter between your conscious awareness and just the infinite data stream into our systems every second, every day, right? So without any RAS, right, a filtering system, you will be overwhelmed with just this unnatural amount of data that we're getting every day, that we see every day, right? So the RAS, I'm gonna call it RAS for easy math. It only shows you what it thinks matters to you, okay? So what matters to you, it depends on what you focus on. That makes sense? Y'all follow me? Yeah, yeah. You shake your head, I can see y'all. Okay. All right, cool. Now, think about it. You buy a new car, or you're interested in a new car, start seeing the car everywhere. Man, I ain't never seen that until now. Right? It's like a phenomenon, but this is how the human body works. Our brains is just such magnificent pieces of technology. That car was always there, right? But now your RAS, it's tuned into it now, right? So now you will notice it every time. Once you declared it, this is my car, the filter adjusted. All right. So the declaration of truth will program your RAS. All right. So you're gonna write this thing down. You're gonna write this thing down in detail, and then you're gonna read it every day, every morning. Look, out of how 66 people in here right now, I'm gonna say like only 15 of y'all gonna write out a declaration, and out of that 15, maybe half will read it every day, but only for like a week, and then most will fall off, which is crazy because this is for you. This has nothing. This doesn't help. Your declaration doesn't help me. Right? It don't put money in my pocket. It don't boost my ego. It does nothing for me. But as your brother and your servant, it isn't. I have to share wisdom with y'all that I know is beneficial, and that's what I'm doing. So I hope y'all take heed because I do mine. All right, and my life is pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, now check it out. Your RAS is going to start scanning for opportunities, for resources, people, information, anything that is aligned with your declared reality. Okay, this is crazy. It's your assistant. Okay, in a very powerful capacity. You're going to start noticing what you need, and you stop noticing what don't serve you. Okay, this ain't this is not what was it the secret. It's not none of that shit. It is not math. This is neuroscience. Very practical. It's hot in here. All right. So now it's scientific, it's neuroscience, it's biological, but now we have to layer in some Islamic principle. Okay. We have what's called niyya. That's intention. Everything that we do, we have to apply intention towards doing it. Okay. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, actions are judged by intentions. Intentions are not casual. You can't be casual when you set intentions. When you set intentions, you're locked in. That's the compass. You have direction now. If your intentions are unclear, your actions are all over the place. Everything seemed like a good idea, right? If your intentions are pure and they're focused, your actions are aligned and everything makes sense. It's like, yeah, no shit that worked out for him or her, right? So the declaration of truth is the written crystallization of your niyya, okay? We're not hoping for anything. We're not doing none of that, okay? So you're setting the intention with precision and you're anchoring it with your will and with clarity, all right? So when you pair all of that together, intentions, action, tawakkul, that's trust in Allah, yo, everything, reality will bend towards you and for you. The declaration is a blueprint. The daily review is the ritual. And then your aligned action is the construction of that blueprint, right? Listen, Allah only changes the condition of a people when they change the condition of their heart. Okay, you got to, look, the path will be laid out before you. It's being laid out right now. But you have to set your intention and do the things. Nobody's gonna do it for you. I hope y'all know that, right? Y'all know that it's not just gonna come to you. That's like a child. That's like a child, the tooth fairy or some fantasy. That's not reality. Okay? Everything is practical. I know a couple people in here that are multimillionaires, right? I know we all use the same process, same system. Okay? Now, I need to every week, y'all, I try to keep this thing very similar to where I diagnose a condition, right? A disease, a social disease, a mental disease, a spiritual disease, right? The modern world, what we are all succumb to a degree, is drowning in vague desire. People want money. Well, what does that mean? Right? How much do you want? And for what purpose? When do you want it? I've had so many interactions with people over the years doing events, and they just want to talk, they want to build. So they ask me things like, well, I just want to some advice on starting my brand. I'll be like, okay, tell me about it. They'd be like, what you mean? Like, I want to start my brand. I said, what's your brand? They have not even taken the time to think of, they'll watch somebody like me or Simeon Panda, somebody, Brandon Carter. I want that life. That's dope. All right. Then they got beautiful wives and you know what I'm saying? Fire, nice car, whatever. They want the life, right? They're working out all the time. So it seems. So they don't understand that, like, okay, being in shape is cool. It's a bait. It brings people to the door, right? It's aspirational because everybody can be in better shape. But then what? Right? What brings them, you know, okay, let's say being in shape brings you to the door. You still got to open the door and get them in, right? It's conversion factors and things like of that nature, right? And then they got to sit down and like what you're talking about, or how you may need to have products that they can use, right? These people don't even think about that. They think I get in shape, I look good, I look cool, and then I just get a gang of money. People, adults, normal people think like this because they don't set intentions. That is a disease, that diagnosis I just gave, how our society is vague, is vague as shit. You know what I don't like? I don't know how to say this properly, but I don't like medium. If this makes sense. I don't like vagueness. Like, if I'm in the gym, the music got to be off or loud. I don't like this medium. Nah, I don't like nothing that's vague, unclear, right? It's just weird. It's like, something ain't right. This ain't normal. Get this up out my face, right? Lukewarm. Thank you. I don't like lukewarm. Burn it or freeze it. You feel me? So that's what how people's mindsets are. Why? Their reticular activating system is not aligned on anything because everything looks great. They like everything. Easily pleased, easily amused. No, we have to not be like that, y'all. We have to be you should always be your own type of person and you move by the beat of your own drum, right? I think it's so bizarre that people think weird people are weird. This is going to be a weird statement right now. I think it's crazy to think that somebody who's different is weird. I think it's weird to want to be just like everybody else. That's weird. That's strange. I don't get that, right? So anyway, but we have that. And if you break out of that, you start thinking different and seeing things different. Now, people they do want, I do believe that people want better lives and more money and good health. But what does that mean when you listen? This is, I wrote this, I came up with this declaration thing, so you know how I think. So, and it's, and I do it because I encounter people all the time. So I have these questions all the time. I want to be in better shape. Okay. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? Just better? Look better? Okay. So then I have to tell them, and I do, I sincerely will give them what I think would be ideal for them because, it is what it is. But y'all need to be the kind of people having these ideas and thoughts and writing these things out for yourself. Okay. Now, relationships is another one. Well, with whom? Right? A strong relationship, what does that mean to you? Right? What are you willing to sacrifice for it? You understand? Relationship ain't all about you. In a relationship, you gotta think about, you know what? I want to share space with this person. I'm into this person. Let me ask questions. Is this okay? No? You like that? This, that, take notes, do all of the things, right? You have to be intentional about everything you do. Okay? Now, what people are doing, they just don't set intentions. They're going through life like medium people, lukewarm, right? Vague desires will produce a vague result every day of the week, twice on Sundays, right? Or no results at all. How about that? That's more of a reality for a lot of people. Now, you know what this tonight is for? Y'all gotta be honest with yourselves. If anybody in here, and look, lying to me, it does. I don't. It's you. You're lying to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. If you're in the same place right now that you was in last year, you need to really pay attention to what I'm talking about tonight. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. My declaration of truth last year, very voluminous. Very voluminous. The most important things on it, I achieved. I achieved. Look, very voluminous. Y'all heard all of the vectors that I mentioned: family, health, money, business, relationship, yada, yada. The best ones I've achieved. I won. 2025 was mine, right? 2026 is going to be mine too. I'm not in the same place I was in last year. And people like me, it would make sense for people like me to be cool where they at. Because I'm in a good place, right? But nah, I got more goals, right? And, I'm just not with the entropy thing at all. So anyway, if anybody in here, if you you ain't got to say, raise your hand or nothing. You know inside your mind and your heart. If you're making the same money that you was making last year, if the relationship ain't that much better, people ain't really respecting you better than they were last year, listen, all the things I hit, the most important things I hit. I'm not smarter than y'all. I'm not better than y'all, but I do the things. Look, as Allah be my witness and my lady be my witness, all I do is work on productive things. I'm handling business at all times. I was in here earlier. Now, I'm observing everybody while I'm working, right? So a couple of the guys are in here, and one is waiting on me to film. So he don't have nothing to do until I'm ready. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to film today because I need to get all of this done, right? So I'm handling stuff. I'm just paying attention to him. They're going in there looking at videos with each other. I'm like, guys, it's like you are in close proximity to an absolute winner in life. Why don't you do what I'm doing? It's baffling to me, but that's okay. Keep looking at TikTok. Y'all are grown men. Y'all are adults with families. Okay, that's cool. So anyway, we gotta get out of this vagueness, y'all. We gotta be very intentional about life, okay? The universe, reality, whatever you want to call it, does not respond to vague. And being vague with people is annoying. Nobody likes that. People will be nice to you, but it's annoying. It's like, man, get your boring ass. Who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? What do you want? Say it. Speak up, right? Anyway, the universe responds to precise snipers, to clear signals. You ever try to listen to a video of somebody and the audio is bad? I don't care what it looks like. You like, man, turn this off. Like, what? This is the message can be great. We need clear signals. You have a clear signal by being intentional and meticulously articulating your declaration of your truth, of your life, of your reality. That way, you align your actions and your thoughts and everything to that. So you're moving with that kind of clarity, that kind of precision. They just get out your way, or what's needed is going to come to you. That's how it is. Signal requires clarity. Most people, they broadcast some bullshit like noise, right? So here's what happened when you don't have a written declaration. Nothing. Nothing. You wake up with no aim, right? You reacting to the world. You ain't creating the world. You're reacting to the world, right? You scrolling, you're consuming information, food, alcohol, whatever, shitty relationships, whatever. You're just taking it all in. You're nonstop distracted, right? A day of being blurred turns into weeks, that turns into months, then your year's gone, like that. And then you're getting drunk again on New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, you're like, dang, man, time is flying. Where did time go? With nothing racked up for the year, nothing tangible that you can say, oh, well, what did I do? Bop, bop, bop. You don't have none of that. It stops this year. The smart ones is getting it tonight. The smart ones is clicking right now as we speak. And listen, y'all, my brother Darian, Riz, listen, do not take this as motivation. Take this as real wisdom, real applicable wisdom. Listen, don't be fired up tonight and then that's it. This ain't church. This ain't a motivational speech. I don't do motivation, nothing. Because motivation is just a feeling and feelings are not real. They come and go. All right. I'm giving actual blueprint, actual practical tactics that work. Take it. It's free. Take it and apply it. I just want to see y'all. I want to look back and like, yo, Mike, I did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know this works. All right. Now, without a target, this is what happens when you don't have a target. When you haven't articulated your plan and your path and is not deeply rooted in anything. Everything seems like a good idea. Everything looks good to you, right? You're not solid. You are blowing whichever direction the wind goes, not the vibrations. Not the vibrations you want to be vibrating on. I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Everything is not reasonable, When you ain't got no plan, every opportunity looks like the opportunity. You need to be turning down opportunity. Like, that's not gonna serve me. I need to put all my energy over here. I need to turn this, and this off and just focus on this and that. You feel me? That's when you know. And those who know, they know. Without a plan, that's not the energy. All right. You need standards. Because when you don't have, see, some of y'all probably bumping your head with people. It's like, why? Because you don't got standards. Because when you don't got standards, anybody can, you let anybody on, you sit in council with anybody. That should not be the vibration. Okay? That's the reality or the disease of a drifting person, a person who has no foundation that they have set for themselves, right? A drifter is busy, but they're not progressing. They're not progressing. All right. If this is stinging anybody, good. That is a signal. That is a message to you that it's time to let me adjust. Let me adjust. Because time is not waiting on nobody. It ain't waiting on your excuse, your depression. Like, it doesn't care about none of that. Okay? It's a killer right behind you that's gonna pass you up, who ain't even as smart as you. Okay? He gonna have all the things you want. Right? Anyway, it gets worse. People who are like that, who are drifting, they kind of think they vibe like, oh, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? They think they're being flexible. I go with the flow. No, you're not going with the flow. You're flowing with the flow. Like, whichever way it's going, you have to go that way. All right? You have to be able to stop life wherever you need it to go, stop projections and turn and go this way and go that way. Bring people with you. Okay? But first it's going to be alone, just you by yourself. And that's okay. It has to be like that for a while. All right? Following the flow that you didn't create or help create is following entropy. Entropy only flows in one direction, and that's down. All right? Now, let's identify the symptoms in this disease. You're always dissatisfied. You might achieve something and feel nothing. Well, you achieved something, but it's like you wasn't even locked in on that. You wasn't clear on what you wanted in the first place. That makes a difference. You might have decision
Right.
fatigue, right? Every choice feels so hard because you ain't got a filter, so it's difficult. And you have no standard. You have no declared path to measure decisions against this or that. You don't know what to do, right? And then you like, man, I got imposter syndrome. You feel like a fraud because you operating without a clear identity. You don't have to do that. You don't know who you declaring yourself to be, right? You're not creating your avatar or your character, right? So you doubt everything that you do, every role you step into, and you're inconsistent. You just fade off of anything, everything, because you have no declared commitment to return to when motivation drops. And I told y'all, you cannot depend on motivation because it will fade. It's gradient. It's not solid. Okay. Then you have envy because you're comparing yourself to others and you haven't defined what it is to win for yourself. See, when your target is unclear, everybody's everybody's wins, it feel like you're losing. And that's not the vibration. And we can go deeper on that, like on the envy stuff. My brother Khalik right here, we was talking the other day. We had a really solid build, 2 hours, I think, or an hour and I don't know, heavy mentals. And I was telling the brother, like, there's nothing wrong with jealousy and envy. It's just a message. It's just a signal. What? What do you mean? If you feel that feeling or emotion of jealousy or envy, that person just lets you know they're signaling that they have something that you desire that you don't have. So what makes envy weird is if you start hating on that person. You're like, man, fuck, do. No, 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 no. If the person is hopefully that person is a person of character. If you have some kind of envy for them, get close to them, bro. How'd you pull that off? Like that's crazy. That's fire. I would love to learn. Yada yada yada. Look, I like watches, right? A few years ago, I wanted to get in the watch business. But I was like, what? 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 It's like no money in it, for real, right? But it's people that's doing it. It's killing. I'm like, how? So it's a brother at my gym. He's the guy. He's the watch plug, right? Inventory ridiculous. So we chopping it up one day, and I'm like, brother, how can I learn from you? Like, I would love to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't want to spend that kind of money on these watches. Like them though. Oh, bro, I can teach you. I can show you the ropes. I got a text from the brother from today. He said, brother, no, I have no problem guiding you. Thank you. I'm not above that. I'm older than him. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. You don't know where your teachers can be, but you have to park your ego, the naps, right? Because that does not serve you. The naps and the ego have you too good for anything and anybody. You can't nobody tell you nothing. And, okay, that's cool. But you want to be in a lonely, isolated place, not learning anything, not ever growing. Okay. So if you get signal with that, like, you ain't got this, you ain't got that, and you desire those things, you get close to those who have it or can teach you and you learn from them. Simple. All right. These are not character flaws. Everything I'm talking about in the diagnosis of this is not flaws, right? They're errors in your navigation. Okay. You're trying to build a house without a blueprint, and that's gonna be raggedy. It's not even gonna happen. You can't even start, right? You're trying to drive to a destination with no map, with no GPS. Where you going? Where you're going? You're just gonna guess. You're gonna guess to get there, right? You're trying to run code without writing the program first. It's like, where are you gonna put this? Y'all probably get on Claude, like, write me a code for an app or whatever. Okay, now what? No, foundation, people. Do our research. Let's write it all out. This culture, I always say, and I'm gonna say this every week, divorce yourself from this American culture, right? It has trained you to believe that you can manifest whatever you want with feelings. I think it's so bizarre that that book did so well, The Secret. Manifest. I went to that church. They have a church out here. It's actually fire. I ain't gonna lie. It's called, I don't know what it's called. Agape. That's what it's called. You remember the brother with the dreadlocks from the movie? Yeah, he's the guy. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. They have the full concert for the choir, like a concert, right? This is what I didn't like. All right, everybody, stand up and hug your neighbor. Like, nah, get up, stop, get off of me. It was too namaste. I can't do the namaste. I don't want to hug nobody. Get away from me. But nah, I can't. It's fascinating to me, but it makes sense that that went crazy and people made so much. Those people made so much money off of that secret movement. Manifest. You know why? Because they're preying on people's ignorance and they're preying on people's desire to get everything easy. Think that book went viral and made so much money because the message is, oh, all you gotta do is think about what you want. Keep thinking about it and you get it. I'm not gonna ever tell you no crap like that because that ain't true. Keep thinking that if you want. And I'm also not gonna tell people that's how you get rich and sell a book to get that's just foul, right? What I'm telling you is yes, you have to think about things and then you have to write it down. And then you have to align your decisions and your actions with what you have written down every day. And then when you wake up tomorrow, you do the same thing. You read it again to remind yourself and realign yourself and keep your reticular activating system very strong and powerful and active, right? Fall asleep next day, do it again, boom, right? That is how you get all the things that you wrote down. I ain't gonna say one, you get the things you wrote down. All right. You are all machines, you're systems. So you have to have a system to acquire the things that you desire in your world. Okay. They get this stuff out of your mind that, you know, the positive thoughts brings you what you want, or just believing, right? That's required. That's part of it, right? But the other half is structure. Belief without a blueprint is just you being a delulu. Did I say that right? The delulu. Delusional. Okay? Because that's just fantasy. When you got a vision, but you're not documenting it, it just kind of fades. It fades. You don't write them ideas down, it's gone. It just flees, right? A desire without declaration is not the vibration. Now, the declaration of truth, this is a thing, y'all. It bridges that gap. With the it takes a formless, abstract, brilliant idea, right? And it gives it form. It makes that which is not visible visible. Declaration, right? Once it's visible, you can build toward it. Now, like I say this, most people will hear this teaching. They're going to get inspired. You might even write out a declaration this week. And then this happens and that happens and this goes and that goes. And then you forget. The declaration sits in your Google Drive or your Google Docs or your notes in your phone. Never open it again. Why? Because you don't have any external accountability. That's the cheat code. No annoying person like me telling you, hey, you got your. I know my crew is they get bummed out with me. I'll be like, hey, you wrote your declaration? Read it to me. Read it to me. And they don't got it. Right? I'm like, oh, okay. I get that disappointed look that I'm gonna give you that. You know what I'm saying? It's for your benefit, you know? So without the accountability, you don't have a community holding the standard. Like this year, everybody in our community in SSL, I'm gonna be asking y'all on a regular, and I want y'all to be asking each other on a regular. How's your declaration going? You got it? How anything you knocking anything off the list yet? Like where you at with it? We're gonna be very intentional about that. Look, my goal is for people in our community to thrive. I don't want people in just to be there, right? So I'm going to be extra annoying, holding everybody accountable. It is what it is. Because before I would keep we have different tiers and I'll keep them accountable, but I'm gonna do it for everybody. It is what it is. All right. So without that community holding, there's no standard, there's no real calibration. It ain't on your mind, it ain't on top of your mind. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between just having some information and having a real transformation. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna sip this water real quick. You want to think about, I'm going to give y'all a prescription now. So I diagnosed the disease, gave the symptoms. Now I'm going to give it a fix prescription. All right. You write your declaration of truth. Okay. You're going to write it. You ain't going to write it tomorrow. Nah, you're going to write it tonight. Okay. This is the antidote to just drifting into oblivion, to the void of mediumness. That's what is it called? Trademark, the mediumness. All right. This is the antidote to all of that. The firewall against your financial, your relationship, your spiritual, your physical entropy. We ain't doing none of that. This is the operating system that will run your life, right? I'm gonna prove it to y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some receipts tonight. I'm not gonna give you bank receipts because that's kind of like bragging. That's kind of arrogant. I'm gonna give y'all some receipts that's even more compelling than that. I'm gonna give y'all receipts tonight. Give me a second. Now, let me explain how this declaration works. First, when you write it out, you are crystallizing your thoughts. You're making the thoughts real. Okay. Everybody has brilliant ideas, but who's crystallizing it? Who's articulating it? If you do that, then you're putting yourself in position to live it out, to express that brilliance. If you don't, it's just a thought, right? So when the thought comes into your brain, it's fluid, right? It's shapeless, and quite frankly, is weak. But when you write it down, it solidifies. It's there. So when you write these thoughts and ideas out, you're forcing precision. Okay, it ain't gonna stay in your mind forever. You can't write vague. That's weird, right? You must choose words. You must define terms. That process of choosing, it brings in clarity. Okay. Being specific is how you activate that RAS, that reticular activating system. All right. When you write, I am executing daily actions to build a business so I can bring in $250,000 every month. Your brain knows what it's looking for now. Okay. It's scanning for opportunities and it'll move you towards that level of income if that's what you put up here and you wrote down, right? And this is a beautiful thing too. It filters out distractions that don't serve that target. So when you write, because I wrote this last year, $250,000 per month, your brain knows what to look for. It scans for opportunities. Like it's going to make it happen. Okay. The third repetition program is the subconscious. It's so powerful. There's whole books on the subconscious mind. Right? I've been reading about this since high school. All right. You read your declaration every morning, or don't, because maybe that's not important to you. Maybe your business, your family, your relationships, your own personal confidence and power of influence, your wealth, your God. Maybe none of that's important to you. So go to Instagram every day though. I bet y'all do that, but you ain't reading your declaration every day or praying every day, which is crazy. I'm giving y'all a real game right now. And once you hear it, you can't act like you didn't hear it. Okay? That's on y'all. Now, every day the same words, the same vision, the same identity. It might be difficult to do for the first 30 days, but after that 30-day mark, your subconscious mind will accept that as truth, right? And no, you're not fooling yourself. You have trained yourself to believe in the possibility and you will act accordingly. It's a system. The fourth thing is the declaration creates accountability. You have it written out right here. If you can't look, we're here to hold you accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable, like for real. I can't express how important that is, y'all. Because everybody ain't going to be around all the time. All right. So when you declaring, I am 5 days a week, I'm hitting the gym, and you skip 3, you feel me? That's dissonance. It's misalignment. Your actions ain't matching your declaration or your words. So your word ain't solid. Is that the kind of person you want to be? I don't think so. Right? Without a written standard, you don't have a measure. So it don't matter. There's no mirror, no reference point to count against. So you don't have standards. Fellas, ladies, fellas, you can't be walking through life without no standards. I'm telling you right now. You cannot be moving through life without standards. All right. Now, the fifth, the bigger the target, the more descriptive that you make your information, the easier it is to hit. It's just an easy target. You see it clear as day. All right. It might sound counterintuitive, but think about it. A small target is vague, it's undefined. You could miss that. You're going to miss that, and nobody even notices. But a big target, vivid, crystal clear. You know exactly where you are in relation to it at all times. You can see it. All right. You see it out the side of your eye, right? It's going to command your attention and it's going to organize your day because you're aligning your decision and your actions to that declaration every morning because you're reading it every morning, right? All right. So it's going to filter your decisions. It just puts you where you need to be. This is why I tell you to write in vivid detail. This is for you. Don't, I just want a house. That's not it. You need to write down the exact square footage, the neighborhood, the view, right? Write down how it feels when you walk out the door. Write down how you feel when you're driving into your gated community and them gates. Like, you're going to take your phone out every time and just record the gates opening. I used to do that. Wallahi. Okay? That feeling is locked in. Okay? The more detail you include, the bigger the target becomes in your mind, the easier it becomes to navigate towards it. And that's what we want. 6, the why. That's very important because why gives meaning to the things that you're doing. And it makes it, you add a sense of urgency when you add a why. So you got to make these things work. All right. Now, every declaration has to have a why. So back to the 250 a month, 250 thou wow, right? Why? Oh, so I can retire my parents and build their dream home and, you know, all of the things that really is a vibe that ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay. This is the anchor. And this is when, fuck the motivation. Excuse my language, y'all. The why remains because the motivation will fade. Ain't that right, Manny? It's my guy right there. It's my brother right there. So money, when you don't have meaning attached to your money, is hollow. You get it, you lose it. It is what it is, right? You don't got the meaning attached to your training, you're being vain. It's vanity, right? Why the why will keep you tethered to what matters when the work gets hard. So it ain't ever hard. All right. 7th is the declaration. It activates your fear in Allah. Tawakkul, right? Your plan, your work, you declare, you execute, and then you release the outcome to Allah. The declaration is you tying the camel. It's a parable. The daily review is you tying, like really tending to that knot and making sure ain't nobody gonna take your camel. The action is you walking the path, and the result is in the hands of the one who controls it all. So now you're not moving through life with anxiety. You're sure of things. You're confident. You're not worried, right? None of us is responsible for our outcomes. We're just responsible for our inputs. Okay? Remember that. So when you know that you're doing the things, you're doing your part, and you can rest in tawakkul. Brother Ricky, put that in the chat, the tawakkul. I want them to read about that. The declaration is not a guarantee, right? But it is a commitment. It's a commitment of clarity, intention, alignment. And when you commit, when you really commit, reality, everything will reorganize itself around you. You gonna feel like, man, my world is like great, you know? You didn't wish this. You declared it and you moved accordingly. Now, I give you the protocols. These are not suggestions. These are instructions. Okay? I'm big bro today. These are instructions. All right? This is a systematic method for you writing your declaration of truth. This is how you architect your intended reality across all of life's domain with sniper-like precision, poetic clarity, Mike Rashid type power. I just throw that in there. How do you do it? You're gonna open a blank document. You're gonna write declaration of truth. You're gonna date it for today, because y'all need to do this tonight, right? This is, don't be casual about this. Make this serious. Make this important. This is your ceremony. And begin with the opening declaration. This is not, don't use my name, but this is how I start mine. I, Michael Rashid King, declare all that I state here is true. I affirm these declarations to my memory, my subconscious mind, every cell of my being, to the universe, and to Allah. I will make this declaration daily, knowing that through consistent affirmation, I create my desired reality. With sovereign will and divine guidance, I speak my will into existence. That's the start. And you write everything you write in the present tense. Now, you're not going to lie, right? You're not going to say, like, let's say if you're to make 50,000 a month, right? You're not going to write, well, I'm making 50,000 a month. Like, no. I am in the process of getting my income up to $50,000 a month, and you're describing how and how much time it's going to take, why you're doing it. You understand? And cover all of the 7 domains that we talked about: financial, the vision and the purpose, why you need that money, why you desire that money, family, community, intentions, right? Your health, relationships, your spiritual practice, your personal growth and development, business goals, right? Your power of influence, your communication skills. Each one of these domains gets its own vivid, broken down detail. Do not be vague. If you're vague, you're gay. I'm just kidding. Start doing it. I don't mean that. All right. And then you end it with gratitude. For real. The end, and that should be very bulky, very detailed. You express gratitude for what you have, right? Write what you are grateful for right now, not what you will be grateful for. That's not the vibration. What you already have, what you already are. You see, the gratitude component, it anchors the entire declaration in reality, and it magnetizes it even more. It makes it way more powerful. Okay? You cannot build what you cannot see. Remember that. And you can't hit what you can't define. This declaration of truth protocol will transform all of the vague desires into concrete vision. And it gives your mind a target, your actions a filter, and your life a real specific direction. Without this, you drift. But with it, you will build. Okay? This next protocol, this right here we're talking about, the next process is what most people fail on. And it ain't because it's hard, because it's not, right? It's because a lot of people is going to try to do it alone. The human brain is wired for social accountability. Look, it is what it is. You have people. That's our cheat code, is each other. Okay? Especially when you have a group, a community, a tribe, you declare something to the group. When you audit your alignment in front of your peers and you see other people holding the same standard, that consistency multiplies. I've watched this hundreds of times. My circle, this is what we do. I'm giving y'all insider information, secret society information, right? I ain't supposed to be sharing this information. When they talk about secret societies, it be legitimately things like this. Our circle sharing trade secrets with each other and tactics. Oh, you're not in this group? No, you need to be in here. Let me introduce you to so-and-so then. You feel me? Like, this is what it's about, y'all. Now, there's a daily calibration ritual, okay? That's when you are taking your declaration every day, every morning, and reviewing it. This is, I said this earlier, I'm going to say this again. I want this to lock in. You are programming your RAS, your reticular activation system, aligning your actions and measure. You get to measure your progress against stated reality. Now, you're reading it, but it's more than reading. You're installing this information. Listen, some of y'all install information from Bumble and Instagram and you name it. Let's install with this. Install with this. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids, your family. You owe it to everybody around you. Okay? Y'all should want to be as dope as possible. You're not getting doper by wasting time on social media. And I'm about to make social media the enemy. That's going to be my ops. Because it's killing people. It's sniping people. It's making people lazy. It's making people angry. It's making people very ugly. They're behaving in ugly ways. Just go through comments. Just see what people say in comments. It's like, wow, this person, you thought that, and then you typed it, and then you hit enter, and you didn't even delete it. You okay? Fascinating. There's people. Listen, there is no compulsion in Islam. We're not. I don't push this on nobody, but I do speak, about Islamic things on my feed. There's people that come with dissertations in my comment section. That's an evil religion, and you should do this, and telling me what I should do, right? How I should do it, and they come in a very, very vulgar way in the name of their religion that they claim they represent. Sir, you all right with writing this kind of? This is not a good representation of anything, sir. This is actually you should be committed into a I think people like that is kind of mentally off. Like to say these things, you're in my comment, you're in a comment, right? And you maxed out on how many characters you could type, and then you did the second one. First of all, that's what's up. You got that. You're right. But this is what it's doing to people, and this is crazy. People's attention spans are getting shorter. Their brains are shrinking. This is a fact. Social media, nah, that's the ops. So listen, with the daily calibration ritual every day, y'all should be praying Fajr prayer, the first prayer of the day, right? After Fajr, that's the first thing you do, and then you don't pick up the phone. You go and get your declaration, pray declaration, read it. It's important. Out loud, slowly, feel the words, see the images, embody the identity that you're declaring, make it yours, walk into it. Okay. Then as you go through your day, the people in the group can probably say this by heart right now. You align your actions and your decisions with what you've declared. Do that every day, right? You're filtering every decision through your declaration. Before you say yes to anything, you ask yourself, is this in alignment with what I've declared for myself? Right? Before you spend money, does this serve the vision? Is this on the vision? Before you invest time, ask, is this moving me forward? Right? Or have I to what I declared, or I'm moving away from it? Like, what am I doing here? Right? Every evening, audit your day. Yeah, you cannot be too busy for yourself for these important things. And if you are, that's just okay, that's cool. That's I know that the things that I'm saying is falling on a lot of deaf mute ears. There's a couple of y'all gonna pick this up though. But when I stand before my God at judgment day, I'll be able to say, yo, I tried. I tried. Okay. So do this, y'all, every day. And then once a month, go through your list and revise what needs to be. Because sometimes you change courses, and that's okay. This is real life. All right. So do that once a month. And then like pick somebody that you really rock with, somebody that's really there for you, and share your declaration with them. And hopefully they can do the same. Okay. And this ain't validation, because you validated it until you've achieved it. This is for accountability. Okay. Let them see your commitment. You should listen. my crew, my real friends, I'll be wanting to make them proud. Just like I want to make my family proud. Like for real, still to this day. Y'all should be like that too. And inshallah, the people around you will want to make you proud. That means everybody's just really trying to be great. That's the vibration. I wonder if that sounds corny to y'all, like I'm saying this, because this is really like my inner workings. And this is really how I live my life. All right. So why, Mike? Why are we doing this? Because writing the declaration out is not enough, right? You need the reps. You need repetition. Okay. That's how you program your subconscious mind, right? Daily reviewing of the RAS, right? Consistent, consistent alignment builds the life, y'all. I'm telling you right now, the declaration is the blueprint. Your daily calibration, that's the ritual, that's the construction of that blueprint. That's actualizing that blueprint. Without it, the blueprint is just a piece of paper. Okay. But with it, the blueprint becomes reality. Okay. Now, this is January. This is, I usually do this in December, but December was a crazy month, the best month of my life. So we're doing it this month. This is when you set the code for the rest of your year. Okay. Be very specific. This is when you declare who you're becoming, not who you were, not who you are becoming, right? That's what you're writing down, who you are becoming, right? Do not do vague stuff. Don't be a medium man or woman, okay? Don't wish for better. That's all right. Don't be a scroller. Don't be a consumer, all right? At the end of the year, those kind of people, they're gonna be sitting in the same spot. But y'all not them. Okay, y'all sacred, y'all squad. So don't drift. I want you to declare, build. We not manifesting nothing. We're building. Okay. So here's your assignment. Right? Start it tonight, but take your time and give yourself about 4 or 5 days to complete it. But start tonight. Okay. Think deeply on each vector, on each data point. Think deeply. Because this is your world. This is your life that you're creating. So be intentional and be mindful and be heavy with it. All right. This is a ceremony, y'all. For real. Remember that. And then look back at it next year or January 2027. You're gonna be like, wow. Okay. So each thing you write down, remember, ask yourself, what do I truly want here? Why does this matter? What does success look like in real vivid detail? All right. Write it down, say it out loud every day, feel that shit right here in your chest, and then commit to it every day. All right. Now, 30 days is going to be locked in. It's going to feel voluminous at first, but it's going to lock in. All right. So, anyway, that's it. That's all. I do want to give y'all, those of you who are not in the community and you want this kind of alignment, first of all, how many people felt this message? Like y'all feel like this is something that you could really rock with, right? Put a one in the chat. Like for real, for real. If y'all really, if this is something that y'all could really rock with, put a one up in this piece. All right. Let's see y'all. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give y'all this right here. This this is gonna be good for 2 days, I think. 24 hours. We doing a special for Sacred tonight. I'm gonna bless y'all to bless y'all. I'm gonna hook you up so I can hook you up. Okay. So you can get in, have full access, accountability, you name it. And this is just one little thing. And in the community, we have the actual document. I'm gonna revise it too for everybody that's been in there. Now, everybody's in there. We need to check to y'all, see if y'all did it. But anyway, we have the actual document inside the community, but we have all kind of just heat. Okay. And we have so much more, but we have heat maps and we can see where everybody's at in the on the back end and what people are downloading and so on and so forth. So it's just so much that people have not been taking advantage of in the Sacred Society community, right? Everybody comes here. This is great, but it's the practical stuff is in there. Okay. This is just the briefing. Exactly. Thank you, Sister Sabrina. We know. We can see y'all, right? Anyway, we can do, I got about 5, 10 minutes for a quick Q&A. But if y'all don't got nothing, then we can get out of here. So anyway, whoever wants to shoot, go for it. I
Mike,
yes, sir.
I don't have a question. I just want to congratulate you on your engagement.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He's right here. Yes, sir.
Ramen brother. Assalamu
I
alaikum. Have a good one.
mean, yes, sir.
Hello, Mike.
Alaikum, brother. Yo, I gotta tell you thank you, and I'm also sending you my declaration. So let's go.
Appreciate
Great
you,
motivation
brother.
message, man. Always look up to you, man. We walk two different life, paths of life. And, every time I hear you, brother, it's always great motivation. It's always inspiration. And, I think Allah I can call you a friend, a brother, man, something great.
I mean, thank you, brother.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm Hillary. I'm an immigrant from Nigeria, like a doctor. And just to say, you've spoken to my soul, man. Like I've watched you over the years, and like watching your life, what you do with your faith. I'm Christian, but I fuck with you like real hard, man. Like what you do, the way the discipline, and it really speaks to something in me. Like I consume all of your content. It makes me better. I want to be better. And thank you, man. Like for real, from my heart, man.
Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you so much. And listen, like, I'm here for this. Like, I am a faithful, humble servant to y'all, to God first, but then to y'all. So, this is what I'm here for. I'm here for the work. You feel me? So, when I hear that there is a positive impact, it just lets me know that I'm in proper alignment, and it helps keep me there. So I appreciate y'all for real, for real. Okay,
Hey, Mike.
Dorian, Itgel, and then Paul.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, sir. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Raymond. Good evening. I just wanted to thank you to say thank you for all what you're doing for your community, and I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Before you become the man you are now, do you look up to someone, or it just came to you to just change your life, or you look up to someone? That was my question. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Well, look, brother, I'm very fortunate. I have my father, and my father, he gave me the sauce. Can't even lie. And my mother. So my parents was dope, was solid. My father's still giving me the sauce. So, so that was like I had that right in front of me. But then I had the Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was always like a North Star to me as well. I mean, the man was widely intelligent, successfully guiding a nation, never seen him upset, seen him in very hostile territory as far as like mainstream interviews, and he always dismantled them with a smile and with a pure heart. He was always in shape, a religious leader that was swole, he wasn't super swole, but he was in shape. He got after it. There's videos of him getting after it on YouTube. So I always had the highest standards for myself because my leaders, my father, my biological father and my spiritual father were like, the real type of sovereign men, real men. So yeah, I had that type of guidance and somebody to look up to that was just, top of the top, and I still have them to this day, alhamdulillah. So yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this too, brother, like right now, my friends, the people in my immediate circle are the people I look up to. I only keep close counsel with really incredible people, like really incredible people. Everybody in close proximity to me have some kind of incredible attribute that a lot of people don't have. They're special people. They're really good people there. And we're all just kind of like quirky and weird in our own way, but in a very productive way. And that's my circle. That's my world. So,
Okay. Okay. Thank you. This is just the last question. So, how do we do to have wisdom?
excuse me.
How do we do to have wisdom? How do we
You
do?
have to seek it, brother. It's here. It's all around you. I mean, even you showing up tonight, that's part of it, right? You know, you're taking your time to sit and learn something, right? We're sharing wisdom right now. This is not a channel where we're just like talking about, oh, Ice shot the girl, whatever, right? We're talking about building our lives up, right? Accountability for self, right? So this is where it begins. Entering communities like this, right? We have in the SSL, inside of our community, there's a university of information. You feel me? A university of information that's there, right? Courses, documents, you name it. And then we can have intelligent conversations in our world as well. But you know, there the world is full of knowledge and wisdom. We have the internet now, so you don't have to go to the library. You can download these things on your phone or whatever. So it's just you, like everyone in here, has all the access in the world to whatever you want. But you have to do what I said, like do this declaration. You won't be, see, brother, the questions you're asking me right now, you put together your declaration, you won't have to ask me anything because you'll have your vision, you'll have your direction. These are the things you should be busy with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I
sir.
am never, brother, I'm never bored. I always have things to do. I stop being productive because I have to stop sometime and chill and be normal. But I always have something to do. I never not have anything. That's just not a reality for me. And that should be for everybody in here, especially y'all, those of you who are younger than me. The younger you are, you should be crazy with energy trying to get things done. You understand? So I told you I was gonna show y'all some receipts, right? So I didn't even tell you this. I did so we got the in-body machine checking your health, right? And it checks all of these biomarkers, not just your body fat. So I put mine in this program, right? Because a few years ago I spent a gang of money on a epigenetic age test, right? So now with AI, you don't have to spend that kind of money because the technology is at our disposal to analyze data. Now, you have to be honest with the data or it's just pointless. Anyway, I did mine. And part of my declaration last year was the exact physical health and biomarkers that I have right now. It was the exact biomarkers. What I wrote down, I hit it. It didn't even take me a year to do it. It was like halfway through the year. I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. I'm gonna read it to y'all. Give me 1 second. It's kind of crazy, y'all. But I'm telling you, and I'm gonna share this with you because of this. I think is incredible. The document what I'm gonna read to y'all, right? But it's incredible because anybody can do this. Anybody can do this with the type of intensity and intentionality and focus that I have, at least. Well, it came up weird right here. You just got to do it. It's like it ain't nothing y'all can't do, but you just ain't doing it. I mean, I'm being so literal right now. All right, boom. Okay. All right. I guess I could share my screen. That ain't necessary. I'll just read it to y'all. All right. So this thing, I did not put my age in this. It's just getting the what I did was I put my test results, put some blood work stuff, some uh, in-body DEXA scan biomarkers, right? 6 foot 213, body fat percentage 6.8, uh, total body fat mass or the actual fat on my body 14 to 15 pounds. The skeletal muscle mass 116 pounds. Lean body mass, that's minus fat, as 198. So that's lean muscle, bone, and organ. SMI skeletal muscle mass index is 10.6 to 10.9 kilograms per M2. I don't know what all that means, but it says very high for your height, basic metabolic rate, 2,310 calories per day. So it's like if I sit still all day, I will probably burn off about close to a pound, just not moving. Visceral fat level, this is the most important on here is level 1 to 2. This is the lowest practical range that can be measured, right? ECW TBW ratio, I don't know what that means, but it says, I can look it up, but it says 0.363, and that indicates low inflammation, healthy fluid balance. Segmental mass, it just shows like the balance of arms, legs, trunk, symmetric everywhere around. So it says, so for arms, high lean mass with very low fat. Legs, high lean mass, symmetrical. Trunk, high lean mass with low fat accumulation. Segmental fat distribution, no abnormal central fat storage. Fat distribution proportionately and healthy. Overall body interpretation, very high skeletal muscle relative to body weight. Extreme low body fat, exceptionally low visceral fat. Visceral fat is the most important fat, and I'm gonna get into that why. Stable hydration and low systemic inflammation, very important. All of this is way more important than muscle. All right, so how old is this person? Based on the physiological data provided, here is an analysis of the most likely chronological age and metabolic age of this person. So you have the chronological age, like your birthday, right? Which I don't think matters at all. And then you have the metabolic age, your health rate inside, like your organs, right? How healthy you are as a human being. Most likely chronological age, late 20s. Yeah, let me punch the wall or something right real quick. Late 20s to mid 30s, baby. And then the reasoning, it broke down the reasoning. This individual displays a combination of extremely high skeletal muscle mass and extremely low body fat, which represents a physiological peak at 48 years old. Achieving this level of conditioning, requires years of dedicated training, optimal nutrition, and some genetics. It is most common, move this thing over, the screen too. It is most common in individuals who have moved past their early 20s hormonal peak and have sufficient time to build mature muscle mass. This profile is typical of elite athletes in sports like bodybuilding, wrestling, and sprinting, who often hit their physical prime in this age. Furthermore, the noted stable weight with a slight reduction, because it's measuring from my last scan, which was a few months prior, in the summer actually, experience, approach, and diet and training. Most likely metabolic age, so my health age, the one that matters, it says significantly younger than chronological age. Likely early is what that say, 20 or younger. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, right? Reasoning based on biomarkers, exceptional body composition, body fat, whatever, 6.8, visceral fat level 1 or 2, very low visceral fat, indicator of low metabolic disease risk. Okay, this is why the visceral fat is important. Very low visceral fat is a key indicator of low metabolic disease risk, suggesting a system that functions much younger than average. Okay, high muscle mass, we know that. Optimal hydration and low inflammation, very important. Healthy fat distribution, bomb. Overall, this is the profile of a person in exceptional physical and metabolic health, akin to a high-level athlete. The concept of metabolic age compares one's biomarkers to population average, right? Given this data, this individual's metabolic age would be calculated as significantly lower than their chronological age, likely in the late or early 20s, as their metrics surpass those of most fit young adults. Critical caveat is that maintaining 6.8 body fat long-term is not sustainable or necessarily healthy for most people. But people, I've been doing this for a long time. This is actually, now, it's like an art. I was low before, then I was up a little bit. A couple years ago, I was like 11. I was like, dang, because I was in the doubles, but that's not my baseline. My baseline is the singles. So then I got back down. I'm not at the lowest that I've been before, but it's pretty low. So there you have it. Like, chronological age, most likely highly trained adult in their physical prime age, approximately 28 to 35 years old, metabolic age, biomarkers, blah, 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 late teens or early 20s. This places them in an exceptional percentile for fitness and metabolic, blah, blah, blah. Now, I ain't even told this machine that I'm 48. It'll probably break. It'll probably like malfunction, and shut down. But anyway, this is my health is the most important thing on my list. It is, right? Me getting married was number 2. Me being healthy is number 1, right? I hit it. I nailed it. The plane landed. This is literally, yeah, I think I'm playing. Hold on. Now I'm going to read that part of my declaration from 2025. Yeah, I think I'm playing. I do this. So it's crazy when I'm in counsel with people who I've prescribed this to, and I ask, like, you wrote your thing out? And they're like, not yet. And we in July. We in August. You feel me? When I'm doing it. All right, let me pull it. My life. Boom. Okay. I ain't gonna read the whole thing because it's very personal, but I'm gonna find that part. I said 7%. I am staying around 7% body fat. This is where I will look my best. My abs will be pronounced. No inflammation in my body. I will maintain 210 to 220 grams of protein daily to keep my muscles full, strong, and functional. I will keep my skin clear so that I look 28 forever. I will also be avoiding salty foods and refined sugars and processed foods. I will continue to drink nothing but water, nectar, mental juice, planta, or tea. You feel me? Like, what are we talking about? I'm doing the things, okay? And it's working. You feel me? And a person like me that's always in shape, it's harder for me to get in better shape doing it though. I didn't realize, I forgot that I'm beating what I put on there. I said 7%, I'm at 6. You feel me? And I was sub 10. I was over 10 when we started. So that's very difficult. All right, 2 more questions. Paul and Itgel. Oh, Dorian, did you go yet?
Nah, yeah, I had a quick one though. Also, real quick, congratulations on your engagement, brother. That's amazing.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's beautiful. Real quick. So earlier you were talking about when you were wanted to make your 250,000 a month. You mentioned a why. Why do you want to make that? Is that why specifically for each area, or is it for the overarching declaration as a whole?
No, why specifically that dollar amount? You understand what I'm saying?
Perfect.
So the why is, what are you going to be doing with that money once you get it?
And then the same
Right.
for relationships, for health, for
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
So yeah, brother B is intentional and as specific as humanly possible. Dorian, let me ask you this, real talk.
Yes, sir.
Did you do a declaration last year?
I did, but I didn't use the format that was in the Sacred Society. Before, I did an online coaching that had they called it a manifesto, same idea. So I had a structure for that, which was already halfway completed. So I went through, filled that in. The shorter answer is no, I did not use the Sacred Society outline.
Okay. I don't know what program that you did then, and
It wasn't touching this. It wasn't touching it.
I'm going to always be the ultimate example. So it ain't never me telling y'all to do something that I ain't doing. I'm active. I'm doing all the things. I'm gonna be the ultimate practitioner of anything that I'm pushing or talking about. Always. So you can always be like, I've had people in the community, like new people in the VIP part, that was telling me the most bizarre eating protocols they were on. I'm like, well, where you get that from? And they're telling me that that's what they got to do. I'm like, well, where'd you get that from? And they tell me the person. I'm like, is this person, do you want to look like that person? They're like, nah. I'm like, well, why would you follow their nutritional protocol? And you're telling me I'm telling you that that's not going to work, right? You know, there's people that's telling people only eat fruit. I'm like, okay, go get diabetes, because fruit Too much fruit will give you diabetes, and you won't build. There's people telling people you only need fruit to build muscle. You will build no muscle with fruit. How about that? Zero. It's not possible. And then they want to talk about animals. Well, gorillas don't eat. That's true, and gorillas are very swole, and they do get their protein from plants, but they eat 10 hours a day. They graze.